Alright, recap. Kind of an ugly day today here on the SPY. Overall markets, everything just took a dive. Nvidia was a brutal one today, which then leads us to our SOUN idea, which now is really kind of on the back burner now, because we were hoping for Nvidia to kind of punk out all these earnings sellers and maybe continue higher, but that's not the case. So hopefully we don't continue to fall off this cliff, but nevertheless, it is what it is. Our top watch, as I discussed last night, is this ACB, and although it did have a rough day with the rest of the market, it maintained these levels that I was highlighting yesterday. In particular, this 587 zone, and as you can see here, we held this 80 to 87 zone for a few hours today, which is a good sign. Doesn't necessarily mean it's guaranteed to hold that level, but so far so good. And the level that I was risking off is this 570 back here on the weekly 1 year. So far so good. This is officially a green light. We're buying with the risk of 570. And as we looked in here the other night, the moving averages are looking nice too. So I still have high hopes for this. Hopefully the market doesn't kind of spoil this trade. But so far so good on that. A couple other names that we've been watching looking pretty ugly. The ALAB, we had the nice move in here that we were talking about for a few days or potentially weeks that we caught in here, and now we've just had an ugly sell-off. Doesn't mean it's dead to us, but for the time being it's fallen off radar until maybe it can consolidate and put a little something visually pleasing in this low 40 zone ideally. The SOUN, like I said, with Nvidia tanking, this one's kind of a no-go. So we can push that to the side. So that and ALAB, we'll put those in the bullpen. AFRM is an interesting one. This has been very strong for 2 days here, and today we had a pullback, and I'm hoping that we have quite a significant pullback just so I can really get a good entry on this one, because the monthly 10-year is insane on this chart. I just feel like this could be a massive trade, especially coming into the holiday season where this is a credit type company, pay now or borrow and pay later kind of situation, and it just looks so nice. So this is definitely a top watch, but we need this to pull back a little bit so we can feel more confident about our entry point. Right now that's just a little too overextended for my liking. Hopefully it doesn't continue to just melt higher and not let us get on there. So top watch. No action yet, but top watch. This LUNR has kind of been an interesting one. I talked about this starting a week or so ago. We had this crazy move on this NASA news with big volume. Now we've had an ugly sell-off and started to consolidate a bit, and now it's really starting to take shape. And if you look at this, I was just looking at this. If you look at some of these levels, or if you look at this visual on the weekly 1 year, this is really starting to tighten up, and it's just consolidating under some of these key levels. So when I saw this originally, I thought it might just kind of be a dead play, but upon some further research here, this could potentially have another leg up. It is a riskier play. It's more of a trade you'd like to place if you're sitting in front of your screen, to be honest, rather than the ACB or the AFRM potentially in the future for us. But this is one that I would say has a lot of potential, but higher risk just given the volatility. I think it's a pretty low float here, 52 mil, so it's not that low, but it can get moving quick. And as you can see just with this candle, it's a good example where gaps up, you wake up, you're up huge, and then the next day it's all gone. So nice looking setup, very interesting weekly 1 year, potential move up to 6, I would say, but proceed with caution with this one. Some of our other names are just looking ugly. This ZIM, this is totally looking dead in the water. Kind of just a pass on that. The PAYO, just too high for my liking right now. Similar to AFRM, and even more so. You can't be buying stuff up that high, in my opinion. The RIVN I was talking about, looking nice in here. Today was one of those days where it kind of just blew up a lot of the setups where they don't look so good anymore. But that doesn't necessarily mean they can't quickly recover and regain that potential that we saw before. So nothing too pretty on RIVN at the moment, but you know, if Tesla gets going, you could see something there. I think that might be it for what we got going on. Not a whole ton. Really, the only green light trade right now is ACB. This is where 90% of my focus is. I'd love for this to just hold our 80 level and start building higher. Squeeze out on the moving averages. Shoot up to 7. Consolidate and then explode up to these 8s and 9s, and that would just be the dream trade. So quick update. ACB #1 watch.